Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Hello. Peace, everybody. This your brother, Mr. Holipsism. 2024 is almost out of here, and I can't wait. But let me get into what the topic is today. Hold on one second. Topic of this live stream is Proposition 1847, the Defund Israel, Fund Liberia Act. And let me read the description to you. Israel has been the largest cumulative recipient of U.S. foreign aid since its funding, receiving about $310 billion adjusted for inflation in total economic and military assistance. The United States has provided significantly more foreign aid to Israel than to Liberia. Since its founding in 1948, Israel has received over $130 billion in bilateral assistance from the U.S., primarily outlined in a 10-year Memorandum of Understanding covering 2019 to 2028. In contrast, U.S. assistance to Liberia has been considerably less. Nonemergency aid peaked in 2010 and has since declined. In fiscal year 2022, the State Department and USAID administered approximately $129.6 million in aid to Liberia, with about half allocated to health initiatives. The Biden administration requested $115 million for Liberia for 2024. In November 2024, the U.S. and the government of Liberia signed an agreement for more than $114.4 million in funding to enhance economic growth and develop a healthy, educated workforce. While both nations receive U.S. foreign aid, Israel's share is substantially larger, particularly in military assistance, compared to the primarily development and focus provided to Liberia. Okay, why am I by myself? Where are my people at? Peace, Michael McGarry. Peace, Vic. Where is Jabari? Yes, this is live, Chima. I didn't think I would be doing this by myself because I thought some people would be calling in and helping me. Because I don't want to do this by myself. I don't like hearing my own voice too much. What's up?
What's going on?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. About you, man? I was gonna wait a few minutes to try to come in. I thought your road dog was gonna be there.
Nah, Deontay's taking his mom out for her birthday.
Oh, okay.
He told me he was going to do that. So yeah, man. What do you feel about Proposition 1847?
Oh, it's gonna take some serious lobbying. It's the first part that's like, oh, that's a little bit of an uphill climb. The first part of it.
Peace, Mike.
Peace.
Because the blue and white flag, they ain't about to walk away from decades of.
Let me give you some backstory as to why I even came up with this title. I was having a discussion with one of my friends, and we were talking about reparations. And their position was that reparations should have been, if reparations was going to get given out to Black people, they should have been given out after slavery. Like once slavery ended, then the reparations should have been given. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. That's cool. And their argument was that the people that's alive now really never had slaves. So it's like you're having people paying now who really had nothing to do with it. And I said, okay, I can understand that argument. But the next argument was that, well, we don't have the money to do it. And I said, well, this is what I said. I said, well, the United States is already doing. They're giving billions of dollars to Israel, and they had nothing to do with the Holocaust. So how do you justify giving billions of dollars to Israel and not those same billions of dollars to your former slaves? And you know what the person said?
What'd he say?
You're right. He said, you're not lying. And so I got to thinking, I'm like, this is a solid stance, a solid argument. What is the justification that United States had for not taking care of their former slaves, but giving all of this foreign aid to a country that they had nothing to do with the Holocaust?
And they recently apologized to Liberia.
Nah, I don't want an apology. Well, I can take an apology, but you're going to have to put some money on that.
I'm saying they recently apologized, so it's like you got something there.
Yeah.
There's something you could build on with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. You really sorry? Okay, we need money for roads and highways. A roads and highways system. We need money for airport and seaport. We need money for tolls and bridges. We need money for basically infrastructure to rebuild or build up or repair our nation. And if you notice, not one time during that description and me reading the title of this live stream and the description did the word reparation come out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because currently Billions of dollars are being sent to Israel. They even built a defense system for Israel, Iron Dome. They're sending money to take, so Israel can have a good military. You're doing all this for Israel, and you had nothing to do with the whole. What's Germany doing?
They're still paying. Not as much
Yeah.
as the U.S., but they're paying.
Yeah, isn't that crazy that they're paying? They're not paying as much as the U.S. when the U.S. didn't have nothing to do with it, and Germany did. And a lot of Americans really have a problem with the fact that Israel is getting money. A lot of Americans. So my question is, if this act is brought before Congress, it's not like I'm expecting it to be fulfilled. I'm not even expecting it to pass. But at least you're controlling the narrative, and at least you're coming up with a strong argument for your case. That even somebody who didn't agree with reparations told me that I was correct in what I was saying. Hello?
I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, okay. What do you think, Mike? Are you in a good area where you can talk?
One second.
Oh,
Okay. Go on, Vic. I'm sorry.
oh no, Mike was gonna say something. I'm good.
Yeah. It is a good idea to put it up on the forefront. Because you don't want to do what Haiti tried to do with his ass. Yeah, you mentioned like not mentioning reparations.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, like Aristide, when he was in power, he asked for France to repay the debt that they imposed on Haiti for their freedom and stuff like that. So Haiti had to pay France reparations under threat of, arms and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So that whole talk thing where you ask for reparations, it has to be backed by guns. So I don't know what these ADOS FBA alphabet dudes are doing, but I don't think that's gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like what you propose with it, which is like the defund Israel, you fucked up at the defund Israel thing.
Oh yeah, but no, we got to defund because if they have to justify why Israel gets money and Liberia doesn't, and it has to be open, and it has to be for the record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not. It's the whole point of proposing something like this is not because we think we're going to get it. It's to put people on the record officially. Let the United States, congressmen and senators explain why Israel should get money and their former slaves shouldn't.
Right.
That's my whole thing. It's like we never control the narrative, and we don't know how to present a strong case. This is a strong case. And if you're going to turn it down, then you're going to have to do it before the world. Peace, Jabari.
Hello, how are you doing?
Peace.
Peace.
So I'm assuming you heard the topic.
Yeah, I heard the topic, but I just got in. I sent you a message earlier. But yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
So my whole thing on this is that Liberia should get more money than any, because again, there's a direct connection that America simply cannot deny. I mean, America can't deny that it played a part in what led to the creation of Liberia. And then on top of that, America was directly responsible for destroying the country in a way that is more pronounced in, let's say, Ukraine, Taiwan, and the other great tragedies, other great tragedies of the 20th century, such as the Holocaust, or any other major tragedies. Is that the United States played a direct part in the destruction of Liberia, whereas it wasn't with the ones that I mentioned earlier, or in the current conflicts that we have right now. So for me, it's the only just, and it's the one that has the strongest standing compared to the others. I mean, America was the reason why there was the 1980 coup. They were the reason why Samuel Doe reversed all of Tober's policies. They're the reason why the Civil War really was able to break out, and they didn't do anything to try to stop it. It took ECOWAS through ECOMOG for them to stop it. They did nothing significant in trying to rebuild the country. So there's much more of a case for Liberia getting that money than, let's say, the state of Israel, that is responsible for genocide in Gaza, the worst atrocities of our time, killing about 500,000, a quarter of the population. A country that has waged war on its neighbors, that has created nothing but animosity in its own region and around the globe. So why fund a country that is doing that? I understand it's because, again, Israel is the lapdog for America in the Middle East, but still, it doesn't help America long term. And if anything, it creates more animosity.
Yes, and also, how can you complain and say that reparations is not tenable? It's like, oh, we can't do that. It's just impractical to give reparations when you are currently giving billions of dollars to a country where you had nothing to do with the Holocaust.
I can answer that. It's like what Jabbar said. It's like they're furthering U.S. foreign policy. So if you're willing to do what it takes to further the Western hegemony, they will give you money. It's plain and simple.
Mike, let me ask you something. In this hypothetical, let's say that this bill is presented before Congress. Do you think that the congressman would say the same thing that you just said?
I'm speaking directly. They will find some other bullshit way to say it. To say that they can't do it.
What do you think that they would say that wouldn't be as direct and as truthful and as honest as what you're saying?
I'll think like publicly, right?
Yeah, for the record.
Damn, I haven't watched C-SPAN in a while. So something along the lines of they will try to propose that Liberia change some kind of policy, or I don't know, some surface level policy that they want changed, just to test Liberia out or something. And if I'm guessing they will try to find a way to I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's when you think about it, it's not really.
The easiest way they'll use it is they'll say Israel is much more of an important ally than Liberia because they invest more money, or we reap more benefits than from Liberia. That's probably the way that they'd phrase it.
Okay, thank you for that. So invest more money. That's code for lobbying.
And
right?
You think that they'd be comfortable saying that for the record?
Yeah, they won't say they get money from donors, but they'll say like, hey, if we get much more of a return on investment with the state of Israel compared to Liberia. Israel is therefore more strategically important than Liberia is. They'll just say it like that in a way that makes it like, yeah, we should focus on Israel more than Liberia because they're more strategic, they're more important. We get more return on investment than this country, Liberia. It has a lot more, in terms of contributions like technology. They'll use it like that. They won't say like because they get money from donors. They'll just say it in that subtle manner.
Yeah, because like for what Israel's doing, they are like quote unquote lobbying the politicians. At the same time, they're furthering the interests of like the military wing of the establishment, right? So they're covering their bases like in terms of like the politicians who they buy off, and the military wing that they kind of buy off too, because they're buying weapons from them.
No, I totally understand. What I'm saying is there's a difference between the reality of what's going on and stating that reality publicly for the record. So what would be the response to that from, I'll just say, the African American contingency? What would be the response to that? Because remember, this conversation is taking place openly.
Yeah. So what the African Americans who are against reparations to Liberia, what they would say is well, that money needs to be used in America. Why would we go to the?
Oh no! I know where you're going with that, but that's not where I'm at right now. I'm talking about for the people that want the foreign aid to go to Liberia instead of Israel. What would be their response when the people say, "Oh, well, Israel is more important"?
My response would say that the easiest way you could say that is that your reputation is on the line. And I think it would be better that you funded Liberia than the state of Israel, simply because you committed you committed a whole genocide. Like there's no way America's getting away from that. And
also, I think that another thing that we should address is the "we ain't got no money" argument, because that's what you hear when it comes to giving any type of aid or any type of money to African Americans. Like, we ain't got no money. We don't have the money to give. Where this money gonna come from? But right now, you're paying billions. That's why I said defund Israel and fund Liberia, because you're already, like, all of the people that don't want to give Black people reparations in America are currently paying money to Israel right now. And nobody's asking where the money's coming from, because they know where it's coming from. It's coming from the U.S. government, meaning it's coming from the pockets of Americans. But nobody's having this discussion openly.
If they're forced to have it openly, I think like currently the U.S. in the West right now are like in a mask off moment, because you see how racist they are against like the Russians, even though they're like fellow Europeans, but they don't consider them truly European. So it automatically excluded them from the white club. But you see that they added the Jews to the white club now, because remember, historically the Jews were like persecuted like for centuries, right? So now they're properly included in the white club. You see them walking around very comfortable now.
Because the thing is that I would even take it. It's more of I frame it as the Israel Zionist lobby. You, as a Jewish person or a person of any kind, are safe as long as you espouse Zionist talking points and Israeli lobby interest points. The minute you go off the rail and you go against the Israel lobby, AIPAC, and others, you get silenced real quick. We see that with anti-Zionists, Jews, Black people, anybody who speaks out against the Israeli lobby for the most part is getting after. So, but to answer your point, I would say the reason why they don't have these conversations publicly is because there's no political consequence that forces them to do it publicly. Anthony Blinken was the simplest example. Anthony Blinken knew that what Israel was doing was violating its own laws.
I think he has like a dual citizenship too.
Yeah. And so what happens is, and they knew that they were not letting humanitarian aid into Gaza, but he just ignored it. Why? They know, the U.S. government knows that there is no consequence if they don't publicly say this. Nobody's going to demand that he step down. There's not going to be any protest. There's no hell to pay if you're not transparent in America. In America, you can do, if you're the U.S. government, you can do whatever you want. And because there's no checks, because there's no price to pay, they just do whatever they want.
I'll say this.
But Jabari, what about Black Twitter?
They don't care about what Black Twitter says. Like that, you see, we've seen today. You see, look at what they're doing to Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione got popular support across the board, and these people still don't care about your opinion. And they still don't care about your opinion. They still doing what they want to do. They don't care about no Black Twitter.
I'll add this. If they're forced to say this publicly, they're gonna have at first they're gonna have a nice liberal way of saying Negro sit your ass down, right? They're gonna say it in a very NPR voice. They're gonna whisper it to you like they're Terry Gross or something, right? And if niggas still get uppity about it, right, and they still push the issue, they'll go mask off and go full racist. That's just how it's gonna be.
Well, my question is, which is the stronger argument? The ADOS FBA argument for reparations or the argument for funding Liberia? Which is the stronger argument?
Oh, the second one.
Oh, someone is asking a question. Is that? Can y'all see that?
Yes. So you said explaining why. I mean, we've done whole videos on that, so I'm not gonna go deep dive. But in essence, the U.S. was trying to get rid of Tober for years, especially based on some of his policies, diplomatic relations. So they basically got people in the Liberian military, led by Samuel Doe, to go overthrow Tober, kill him, kill his cabinet, and then he takes power. He gives all the U.S. what they want, and then Doe starts drifting off. Then Charles Taylor comes in. Then they get rid of him, and then chaos breaks loose. So that's the simple, short version of it. So that's how the U.S. government instituted 1982. They got people in the Liberian military to basically kill Tober. And then, of course, they exaggerated the rice riots and other elite events. So that's a simple way to put it.
And what about the second part?
Also, Holland said he wouldn't use the word reparations. Oh, man, my thing. Okay, there we go. He says wouldn't use reparations in the context of litigating more USAID. Why, in terms of argument stakes?
Why, in terms of what?
Argument stakes. Of argument.
Argument flaw?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, you're going to explain that.
There's a stigma attached to the word.
Well, that's true, but also, in terms of the money is currently being given to Israel, so you can't say you don't have the money.
But see, the thing is they don't even use the word aid. We know it's aid to Israel.
Right.
What they'll say is we're giving defense to Israel.
Right. Fine. You can get defense to Liberia. See, they're going to have to explain and make it public why they are helping out a country that they had nothing to do with their history and their Holocaust. Well, you have people over here right now in a country that not only did you have you played a big part in its downfall.
Yep.
And that's for the record. That's historically. You have more of a connection with Liberia than you do with Israel. So if you're going to give money to Israel and not give money to Liberia, you're going to have to put it in the open. You're going to have to say it openly why Israel is more important to you than Liberia is, openly. And I think that that's a stronger argument than what the reparations people are doing, where they're trying to get individual checks for themselves. Because all you're going to get all day long is, oh, we don't have money for reparations. Well, let's not talk about reparations. Let's talk about foreign aid and
but
military.
I think it has less to do with the fact that I think it has less of the fact to deal with the fact that I don't think it's more of even using the term reparations. It's just the fact that because we don't rep the nation and we invest in the nation, it's hard to have any sort of leverage that would make people think that reparations is the best way to go. Because all they keep saying, what is the argument that they keep saying? Oh, slavery happened a long time ago. Nobody alive was a slave. Now we know their descendants are there, but they'll use that. Why? Because that's the easy way, because that's the easy way to cop out. With Liberia, you can't really do that because Liberia still exists.
Right.
And you can't deny that. And you can't deny that we have significant influence in the country. You can't deny that. So you can't use, oh, well, this happened a long time ago, or, oh, this is what the community did there. And my response could easily be, so what? Like, let's say all that stuff was true. Y'all still destroyed the country. So all that other stuff doesn't matter.
Oh, and Jabari, what about this? In November 2024, the U.S. and the government of Liberia signed an agreement for more than $114.4 million in funding to enhance economic growth, development, healthy, educated workforce. While both nations receive U.S. foreign aid, Israel's share is substantially larger. So currently, it's not like they're not giving money to Liberia. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not like, oh, we know this is some new concept. They're giving money to Liberia. They're just not giving it to the tune. They're giving it to Israel. So what you said is 100% correct. And that point just validates it even more. See, my thing is, the argument needs to be strong and the case needs to be strong. And I think it's a stronger case for this than you trying to get reparations for individual black people here in America? Because reparations is like what Vic said, it's a buzzword. It's like it's a term that is highly volatile.
And also, the thing about it is that reparations is often given in the pretext of we're trying to make America a fairer place. We want to be equal Americans. And if that is your ideal, then that makes sense. But the thing you have to look at it is that as there's a significant portion of the U.S. population, it may not be the majority, but there's quite a significant, that does not want a fairer America, that's comfortable with the status quo. And we have to understand that.
Can we look at it from our enemy's point of view too? Because sometimes it's good to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I would do? If I was America, I would say, African Americans, your nation state is Liberia. If you want an individual check, get it from your government.
But see, they're not gonna. I would say the enemy would say this more because I've been on Twitter and Twitter and the it's basically become Stormfront mainstream. Mm-hmm. But one of the arguments that they'll say is that, okay, fine, we'll give you reparations, or if we give you reparations, but you have to give up your U.S. citizenship. That's what someone like Access will propose.
Yeah.
Say, hey, we'll give you reparations, but you got to give up your U.S. citizenship.
Yes. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. If I was an enemy, I would say, you know what? If you guys want an individual check, you got to get it from your nation state, and you got to give up your U.S. citizenship in order to get it.
I hope that happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm about to say, people act like I'd be offended. People act like, nah, I'm good.
Yo, these niggas will turn into Captain America so fast.
Thank you.
Man, ain't nobody gonna turn me away from my love.
They're like, they're not gonna be American. They're gonna be American.
How about this? Let me add on to the hypothetical. If you do earn your U.S. citizenship and you go to Liberia, the individual check that you're going to get is going to be about $250,000.
I can live with that.
Oh, now all of a sudden that patriotism went right out the fucking window.
Wait, how much they would get individually? 200?
250,000.
250,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each individual.
Yep.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of Black Americans who would give it up.
Oh yeah. You talking to one of them?
Yo, I would not be surprised if there are white people who start claiming they're Black Americans.
Yeah, we're gonna have a hell of a vetting system in Liberia.
They're gonna go to ancestry.com talking about, see, man, I got some guns, man.
They're gonna be the white version of Chief Running Coon.
Oh,
my grandma told me I was Black. You know?
No, what they're gonna say is that, see, that reparations check should also extend to the spouses. Because he got a check, he fully Black, but see, I'm married to him, so
yeah, you're right. It's going to be all kind. But you see what I'm saying? When you control the narrative and you come up with the right talking point, this is what happens. It's like the dominoes just fall.
But also, when you have a nation state, and most importantly, you have an educated populace that knows what time it is, it's hard to be broken.
Right.
I mean, look at Cuba, for example. I know Cuba's still struggling with all they're going through, but Cubans are not turning against their government ever. And that's because, again, when you have a nation state, even you know there's an outside force that's stopping you, you can fight, and you know who to fight, and you know what arguments to make.
Mm-hmm.
See, when we talk about reparations, what people fail to understand is that you got to say, listen, America, the United States government owes Black people reparations. Yes, they do. And I always frame it, you got to put the United States government. Because when you start saying white people owe us, then what white people can say is that argument, well, I didn't own slaves.
Exactly.
I came to America in 1920.
Exactly. And I've been saying this for years, that people don't understand what reparations actually is. And you have a stronger argument. Like, just look at the word, repair a nation. When you look at the word and you understand what it is, then you can form a strong argument and make a stronger case.
In order, ADOS and FBAers are not going to connect with Liberia unless they see us moving the ball. That's the only way they're going to.
Oh, this! I'm getting a brain aneurysm.
I
really
know,
am.
but it's only like they're not going to do it voluntarily. They're not. They're not going to do it. Thing. We just have to accept it. ADOS and FBAers are going to stay in America. The only way that they would even remotely connect with Liberia is if they see us making moves. And
if the U.S. government says you're going to have to give up your U.S. citizenship if you want that check.
Yep. It's got to be us. It's not,
and I don't understand why certain brothers and sisters got this need to connect with people who are diametrically opposed to everything that we're about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just baffled that that's even a thought in their brain that ADOS and FBA would be down to connect with Liberia and what we're about. Historically, have they shown that? Like, what is it that I'm missing? Or is it just pure naivete? And that's a serious question, because I hear this occasionally. Well, why don't we combine forces with ADOS and FBA? Come on,
because the
man.
thing is, I think it's not naivete. I think he's coming from a good faith argument. Those FBA are not coming from necessarily a good faith.
Yeah, that's my point. That's my point.
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to impose or project his good faith onto them.
Hello?
Yo, what's up, Chima?
Not much. I just want to add something. Do y'all know about the USS Liberty, right?
Break it down.
All right, so in 1967, the USS Liberty was sailing in the Mediterranean, and then all of a sudden it was struck by an Israeli fighter plane. 20 American sailors died in that attack. So I want to ask this, well, one, did the U.S. have anything to do with the Holocaust? And two, between Liberia and Israel, which nation has American blood on its hands? After everything I just explained.
You see how the snowball is going downhill?
Yeah.
You see how the case is getting stronger and stronger?
They keep ignoring it because they are furthering U.S. imperial interests. So they don't give a fuck about a few soldiers dying. Who gives a fuck? Like they can be replaced. You know,
right? These guys literally helped take down Syria, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
And now Syria's being taken over by these head chopping jihadists that said, "Oh, they want to have they want to have peace with Israel."
And crippled Hezbollah.
Mike.
Yeah.
then they have to say it publicly and for the record. That's all.
And oh yeah, and here's some for the hot-blooded Americans that are out there. Which nation helped bring Al Qaeda to power in Israel? I mean in Syria. Sorry about that. Was it Liberia or was it Israel?
Mm.
The Al Qaeda that perpetrated the 9/11 attacks, which people still mourn about to this day.
Mm. Man, that snowball is getting bigger and bigger.
It's avalanche.
Like I said, it's not like this hypothetical bill that I'm proposing. It's not like I expect it to be passed. It's to go through the Congress and the Senate, and then the president's going to sign it, and then yay, Israel's going to be defunded, and Liberia is going to have that. No, that's not what the purpose of this is. The purpose is to state what your position is for the record, because when we take this to the World Court, now you're going to have to get up there and explain to the World Court why you're giving so much funding to a nation that you had nothing to do with the Holocaust. And you're going to have to explain why you don't support, why you don't support with the same amount of intensity, because you already support Liberia. You give money to Liberia. You just don't give them shit compared to what you give to Israel. See, that's the point that needs to be made. They're already doing it. So you can't cry broke because you're already giving money to Liberia. You're just not giving them enough. And you're already giving money to Israel. Already. That money is out of the American people's pockets and into Israel's government. Period. So how are you going to argue that, oh, well, we ain't got no money? Well, take it from them. But like I said, this is a hypothetical because it would actually require members of Congress and also people here in America having some balls.
How about that? Hey y'all,
What's up?
how y'all doing?
What up?
What's up? I think what you doing, brother, is something that like we've philosophically talked about on many occasions. Like, hey, for instance, what if we just get our own political party, like have literally a Black African American political party? Any thinking person will immediately say, well, we're not going to win. We're not going to vote. And I'm like, duh, that's the point. The point is for y'all to see exactly how America looks at y'all, for you to see exactly what America really thinks, even though we know. But how you said, I love how you said it. Let's get this on the record. Even though we have it on the record, like this reparations bill was something that's literally been not particularly the one about defunding Israel, but a reparation bill was first introduced like 30 something years ago. You know, but when you tell people that, it doesn't seem to register. I don't know if you guys have seen the video going around where there's a brother, he's in some kind of meeting or something, and he's breaking down like, yeah, my grandma or my auntie was the last victim who died of Tulsa, and we need reparations. And he was breaking down the science, and they just looking at him like, okay, nigga, and like this is what they think of us, and we know it, right? And I understand your heart, bro, is saying like, well, if we do this and then they show that they don't care about all of us, then clearly we all have to realize that we need to leave here. The sad reality is, though, is that it gets back to how was you talking about the you was talking about the flat earthers. We're not gonna make that move because that move is gonna point us dead in the face and heart and say, now what are you gonna do? Are you gonna just shut up and be a buster, be a punk? Or are you going to come together, get your head out your butts and do something about your situation? And we would rather just keep on walking around here shaking our ass, looking for the next girl to go out on a date with and talk about, as opposed to look at our future, man. Like, seriously, I don't think we're asking for something that's like nonsensical or something that's just too fantastical that we can't even really focus on. Like, man, where's the group of men and women who really wants to do this with us?
And you know what? That's a good segue to this Squid Game plot point twist that I'm going to give y'all right now.
Do it.
You know who's going to be the biggest detractors, the people that we're going to have the biggest problem with if we present this bill? ADOS and FBA. Because I've already heard their argument. The argument is, well, I don't trust a foreign government controlling my money. So Jabari,
because
you had
America.
mentioned that. Jabari, you had mentioned that earlier. What is your take on that? Jabari there? Jabari, you there? Well, until he comes up, Jamoja, what's your take on that? Because me and you spoke about this. Jamoja's going too?
I mean, I like to say
No.
something about this. My
Yeah, go ahead.
response
I stepped.
oh, sorry.
No, please go ahead. I stepped out my car. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
Please.
I would ask these ADOS FBA folks, if you don't want a foreign entity controlling your money, do you guys know what the hell APAC is? Like, that's the Israeli lobby that controls a lot of the money in this country.
Ain't trying to hear that, man.
Well, I think that the issue with Black America is that we have been tricked into believing that we are white Americans, to the point to where, for instance, how even us in this group, sometimes we can get to talking about something and we'll say, oh no, we got military bases in Africa. No, we got military bases in Indonesia. Nigga, it ain't no fucking we. We don't count. And we see, if we sit down and break down the science of how we don't count in American society to a certain extent, right? Then no one wants to hear it. They'll make excuses and they'll say that we're being radical and we're being racist and we're being hoteps. But then when you put people foot to the fire and say, well, here's the evidence, talking about our bank, for instance, this black bank that has $2 in it, while these other racist bank has billions in it. This is real life evidence. And the evidence goes back to, why would I want to support something that's all black when I'm already American? I'm woven into American society. I'm part of this. Hold on, y'all, it gets better. My ancestors fought, bled, and died so that I could get on my knees and suck the dick of white America. Hello? like this is what my ancestors died for, so I can vote. And who cares if my vote matters?
Yeah.
My ancestors, they bled and died so I can go to work with these white people. And so what if I never get the raises? So what if I never get promoted? I can go to work with them. I can live in their neighborhood. So what if my kids are treated like shit? So what if my kids are still going through racist stuff at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old in 2024? So what? I'm American. It's fucking sick, y'all. It's sick. And we need to call everybody foot to the carpet for it, y'all. We can't just keep living here like, oh, we're American and everything's fine. And yo, I'm driving my car right now, going to the store. I'm going to the store to spend some money and I can go and get me some weed, some alcohol, a girl. I can get everything I want because I'm American. But damn it, I hope the police don't get behind me. Please. You see what I'm saying? It's a fucked up existence, y'all. No matter how much money we making, no matter how many women we got, no matter what we doing, it's a fucked up existence here. If you give a fuck, if you really a man.
Isn't that something? The reason why our black bank can't even have $1 billion worth of assets in it is because we're Americans.
Why do I need a black bank, Holla? There's U.S. Bank, there's Bank of America, there's Fidelity, there's Citizens Bank, there's all. Why do I need a black bank, sir? America has let me bank with them. Damn it.
Right. And in the meantime, all the other ethnic groups are supporting their banks. They're putting their money in their own banks.
Let me tell y'all something real quick about this bank stuff, right? I'm an electrician. For the last year, I've been working on this building, this beautiful building worth $8 million, brand new, built in a not so good part of Portland, in the east side of Portland, right? The place is called La Hacienda. It's called La Hacienda. It's called the Latino Network. It's all Mexican, all Latino. Not nowhere in their verbiage do they say this is for brown and black people. It's for them. Listen to me though, y'all. It was last night I went to an all black event. And anytime anything that was mentioned at all black, every fucking time they added brown. Every time. Now that's not the topic that I want to get at. That's just an aside, right? But the issue that I want to talk about is I looked at the documents that showed all of their benefactors, all of the people who donated to them. They come and support their people, y'all. They bank is fine. But when it comes to a black organization, the first thing they do is say, we need something for black and brown people and blah, blah, blah. And they never get money for it anyway. But why is it that I can sit up there with my labor, build a whole building, man, for the future of Latin people in Portland? While I got to look around at black people and say, what we going to do for ourselves? Do y'all know how frustrating that is?
Well, Umoja, let me address the important part of what you said. See, I think you're being a little bit aggressive. You're raising your voice. If you just say it in a different way, then you might get people on your side. That's what they tell me. You're being just a little bit too caustic. You know what I mean?
So let me break this down, y'all. When I was first working on this, when I was first working on this job, I was doing my thing, thinking about black people, thinking about our future. And I was like, man, y'all, we need to stop this black and brown coalition stuff because it has not worked. And then I realized while I'm talking, I'm working right now on a building that's just for Mexicans, Latino, Hispanic ethnic groups. And I was looking around as I'm working, as they building, I'm looking around, y'all. I promise you, I didn't see one thing that said black people, right? So I made a post about this and everybody liked it. Everybody liked it. And then I learned how much money was put into this building. And I'm like, geez, that's interesting. And then me and my big brother talking, and he's explaining how there's not that much money there's 600 and something million in the black bank, while there's 50 and 60 billion in Latin banks and Asian banks. And I'm like, what are we doing, y'all? And when I express this, people just seem like it doesn't matter. So I'm confused and I'm heartbroken.
Yeah. Because the answer is, why put money into the black bank when you can put money into the white bank? Because you're an American.
And the white man got us.
At the end of the day, you're an American. So why should you support a black bank if you're a black American? Your money should be going into Chase. Your money should be going into Citibank, Bank of America, HSBC, TD Bank. That's where your money should be going to. Why should you support One United Bank? That's the black bank.
The Negro Bank.
Yeah. Why should you support that? And do you see how the crickets get? Yeah. See, these are the type of topics that when I put on my page, all you get is crickets. No comments, not even barely any likes. But if I put something there about Travis, whatever, or P. Diddy, or anything involving relationships, then I get so much interaction and so much engagement that I can't even count the amount of comments.
Hey, how many comments did you get on the Erykah Badu and her daughter ass picture?
Exactly. Like that got all types of engagement. How many people are actually even listening to this live stream right now?
And that's what it really comes down to, man, is that for the stuff that we have control over, we just let it loose. We like, having control over ourselves, our numbers, we just let it loose. We act like that don't mean anything. Literally, like the power that we could demonstrate by supporting the black bank more. And that ain't even saying, yo, everybody take all your money out, all of your automatic payments out and put it. You don't got to do that, bro. You could literally say, I just want to put $4, $5, $40 a month. Anything, yo, anything. Yeah, like seriously, just open an account. Just open an account, man. That will show something. That will literally show something. We don't even show our power. Why would people respect us? I don't see how we walk around as men with our chest out, thinking that we men. For real, for real. I'm like, how are we doing this? I don't get it. It's crazy. Looking like straight clown. How can you hear that? How can you hear that you a foundational Black American, you a ADOS descendant of slavery, and your bank ain't worth more than people who came hundreds of years after you? You's a fool, man. You's a damn fool.
Yo, when's the last time any of you gentlemen got something DM'd to you and it was a BAIO or a hollop video and somebody wrote, listen to this before they take it down?
That was good. That was good, big bro. That was good, big bro.
They're trying to keep
that was so good. That was so good.
When's the last time you got that? Because if I get that, I'm probably going to just have a heart attack or faint. Nobody's talking about this.
I'm gonna tell you what I do get a lot of, big bro. He right though. He right. That is true. 100. Yeah. Everybody agree. Don't nobody want to do nothing about it though. Everybody in agreement.
Oh yeah.
We can see the shit. Don't want to do nothing about it.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I barely even get that. It's like the vast majority of the interaction and the comments and because this is the way I don't, maybe I need to explain how this works for the internet. When you have a video and the video doesn't have any comments, the video doesn't have any likes, and the video doesn't have any shares, the algorithm says this video ain't shit. Nobody cares about this shit. And then they don't promote it. Just go to the BAIO channel or go to my channel and look at the amount of comments. How many people liked the video? How many people commented on the video? So we're basically our own worst enemies. How much energy does it take to like a video? To thumbs up a video, to put in a comment? How much energy does that take? And we don't even have the energy to do that. And you know what usually happens when I say that? The people who do it start saying, well, how can I do more? You're not the problem. The usual suspects are not the problem. It's so funny that the people who do so much are trying to do more when people are doing absolutely nothing. That's the problem. They're the problem, not you. Michael says, the same people that say representation matters are the same people that won't engage with us. You got it. You got it. That's what I've been saying for the longest, man. It's that if you really care about this, get involved.
And you said something that was important though, in terms of, and I look at it in terms of business. Like once I start doing my own sites, my own like fitness stuff and doing like marketing and everything else, I look at like even the nationhood stuff as a business, right? In terms of like, if people aren't buying it, quote unquote, right, buying it, then either the message is wrong or people aren't interested. It's as simple as that. but hang on, y'all. Sorry. I'm in the store.
It's okay.
But when it comes to in terms of business, like and support, the most simplest thing you can do is literally share. And what you're talking about, like and respond and make the algorithm boost your stuff, right? And we do not do that for anything with the stuff that is most important, right? But when you see stuff that's absolute, thank you, bro. When you see stuff that's absolute BS, you hear stuff about, yo, aliens just landed in Tennessee. You will literally have 75,000 likes and 20,000 comments. Like literally, It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But then you could talk about a black bank and you can give numbers and you will have 4 people that like it. So what is that telling you as a businessman? Like something is not right. But then you also got to think about what the mind of the general public is right now. They don't want to even think about work, y'all. Like it's bad. If it's something that makes you think, that convicts you, that makes you think critically about yourself, nope. I just want to look at ass shake. Let's just keep it real. I just want to look at your ass shake, or I want to see people get shot. Hard stop.
Let me throw another element into the mix because I think this is important too. I've always said this, and I've been saying it for like damn near 30 years. When the sheep are scattered in the field, you don't go to each individual sheep telling it to try to, yeah, why aren't you in order? Get in order. Where's the goddamn shepherd? And that shepherd is supposedly our so-called leadership and representation. How come we, working class black people, are bringing up these topics, this important topics, but the leadership, I've yet to see any black leadership say support One United Bank. Not one.
That should make everybody listening to this think really hard about who you listening to and supporting and why. Really though.
Yeah, not one. That's the, like, people ask me, what could we do? And like I said, it's funny that I'm on this when I'm not even a do it right here dude. I already see the light at the end of the tunnel, and the light at the end of the tunnel for us is Liberia. But I'm here in America right now. You mean to tell me that African American or black, whatever you want to call it, leadership doesn't feel the need to tell their people to support their own bank? How come when I'm watching the Super Bowl, I don't see a One United Bank commercial? I don't hear nobody talking about One United Bank, except maybe not even a handful, half a handful of celebrities. I can only name 2 off the top of my head.
I'm surprised, like, with this, these are things that FBA and ADO should be thinking about. Like, I'm surprised I haven't been inside a HBCU, but the students who go there should be banking with One United.
Right.
Right.
You should have whoever the quarterback is, or whatever player that's on the teams that's playing in the Super Bowl should be in that commercial.
Yeah.
You already got $600 million. Take $1 million of that, make the goddamn commercial. Or $2 billion. $1 million so you can pay the people to put the commercial on, and $1 million just to make the commercial. Or is it going to be one of those deals like where, that Beyonce and Oprah Winfrey deal where I'll come and support you as long as you pay me $1 million. Beyonce got paid $1 million just to announce Kamala. We are living in a fucking bizarro world, man. I swear. Holla up to your Moses views. African Americans believe their uplift path is to be in coalition with other groups, i.e., powerlessness mindset. What do U.S. ethnicities like Mexican Americans and Syrian Americans see as their U.S. future versus African Americans? That must be a rhetorical question. Anybody want to handle it?
I think that when you talk about other races, they don't come in with this we are American. I think they come over here happy like we about to get this good old American dollar, and the evidence is in how they live and in their money. You could look at all stats say that every other race keep their dollar within themselves. They don't come here. Some of them do now. You obviously will see an Asian with a white girl or something like that, acting like he's super white. You might even see a Mexican thinking he black, right? That does happen. But by and large, their heritage is their heritage and they hold on to it. The heritage stuff that we hold on to is dumb American slavery shit. Like seriously, we don't hold on to no heritage. We don't.
I think, in my personal opinion, I think we tend to underestimate just how much of our heritage we hold. It's just because we have the coons and the sellouts and all of them being with a microphone, we believe that we ain't holding on to anything. But I think if you talk to black folks, like where I'm from in South Carolina or in New Orleans or the Mississippi Delta, there's a lot of African stuff.
Such a good point. You so right. That's such a good point, Jay. For real. Such a good point.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are positive, but I don't know, man. How I'm trying to be positive, right? But how is it that, you know, these guys are trying to do like a dumb version of Talented Mr. Ripley and trying to like claim Native Americanism? Like I don't know, man.
It's a grift, man. It's a grift.
They've been beat into submission.
I hope so.
Been beat. These people have been beat into submission, and them trying to claim indigenous that's their revolution. That's them saying Liberia in their mind. That's them saying that they're distancing from the American system and all that stuff. I'm Indian and I was here first. I'm indigenous. The power part don't have anything to do with it. It's the emotion, man. We thrive on the emotional, the acknowledgments. That's why they can keep on giving us pacifiers. That's why it's only black people who they put in big positions of power. They don't have to throw Mexicans in as presidents because Mexicans has 50 billion in their bank. They don't have to throw Asians in front of the TV and say, see, we treat you guys nice too. Because Asians bank together and do business together. It's only black people that they have to keep on tricking into thinking that we're actually a part of the American society because we want to be so bad because we're pussies and we're fools. Let's be very clear, y'all. All that stuff about loving the world and being like kumbaya and dancing around and welcoming everybody, that is a real African thing, y'all. We love the world. We really do. But we need to understand when people don't love us, it's okay to fuck them up. We can't just say, no, we love everybody no matter what. We can't do that. We can't live like this forever, y'all. Please. We have to grow up. We have to grow up and get some balls at some point because we look like clowns and pussies. Like, I know we don't like to hear that language, but that's exactly how we look as a whole. And it has to stop someday. Someday we have to stand up and say, here we are. What you gonna do? They already scared of us. Damn. Growl a little bit at some point.
Yeah.
Honestly, we love everybody but ourselves, it seems. And the whole indigenous thing, like, that's not even getting away from America. That's desperation to get closer to America, if you ask me.
Of course. That's the reason. Like I'll say it again. The reason why there's $606.4 million in the black bank is because we're Americans. That is the most damning piece of evidence that you can give to this integrationist bullshit. But yet we still gonna go for it.
It's nothing wrong with being American. It's not like, right. This is the thing though, right? Ain't nothing wrong with being American, black America. There is something wrong with saying that you built it. Your people was here first and you at the bottom. That sounds crazy, y'all. Does that not sound crazy to y'all? Let me say it softly, y'all. There's nothing wrong with being American. Most of us were born here. Most of us have long roots here. My roots span from California to Texas to New Orleans, personally. A little bit in the Carolinas, actually, too. But the truth of the matter is while we are the longest, quote unquote, minority, now Mexicans are a Latino population. They outrank us now. Now they're the highest minority. So we don't even have to be catered to anymore. So while we saying that we foundational, now we built it, how can you say you built something yet everybody else is enjoying the fruits of your labor? And you at the bottom looking at them, asking to come in. Yep, I built this house. And let me give you one more example about this. I built this. I literally just built the building. This year, I probably built 3 or 4 buildings. Guess what? I'm not living in none of them motherfuckers. None of them give me any money. They done paid me for my work. And every time I drive by, guess what I can say? Yep, I helped build that. I could even have a little bit of pride. Like, oh no, those lights are flickering right now. Those lights is on because of me. But guess what? I can't go and tell people I own that. That's mine. You need to give me my rent. That's black people in America, y'all. And we didn't even get paid for it. It was free labor. So just get over it. Get over it and get strong. Then you can say that this is mine. Look what we do here. Because right now we're not doing nothing here, y'all. Hard stop.
Step number one is gathering your resources together. Because, like you said, the Asians have about 60 billion that they can pull from for any project that they want. You're currently working on a building that's funded by Latinos. You know what I'm saying? And let's just explore that. We have our strongest brothers working for other people. Let's think about that.
That's the system. That's the system that we're in. Our
all
best.
of us,
Whoa.
all of us working for other people. We put in 8 hours or more a day toward another ethnic group's success. If it smells like pussy, if it tastes like pussy, it's probably pussy. I'm just saying. And if you're comfortable with that as a man, as a black man, then it's time to throw in the towel. It's time to throw in the towel. What is this pretentious black BS that we're on? Do you know what our expression of power is right now? This is, instead of talking about stuff like this, you know what our expression of power is for ADOS and FBA? Canceling Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes. And you can't even do that. Has Fat Joe stopped making money with your so-called cancellation? Has Busta Rhymes stopped making money because you and your fees? You can't even do that as an expression of power.
And Fat Joe's correct.
Anyway,
Fat Joe's more black than the FBA.
Yeah, and I bet you Fat Joe got his money in Banco de Popular.
Terrible. How about that? That's a bar. That's a bar.
Hey, listen, if Fat Joe makes a advertisement for One United, they need to shut the fuck up. I can't wait for that shit.
Oh yeah, man! If I was in a position to have his ear, oh,
just as a checkmate.
Yeah, check and mate. Have him and Buster in the commercial for One United Bank. That would be awesome. He ain't really black. Shut the hell up, you clowns. Anyway, we over the hour. We went 18 minutes over actually, but yo, good job, y'all. Good job. I think we hit all the talking points. We put it out there. I don't think there's anything else I needed to get into. I think we covered everything.
Y'all bring life, man. Not just talking to smart people, but smart people who got a real heart for the future of our people. That shit bring me life, y'all. For real. Thank y'all.
Yeah, same here.
Peace.
Anybody else have any last words or final words, I should say?
Go to a black bank. Go to a black bank. If there's not one by you, you can do it online, just like you can do everything else online. Just open up an account, $20 and have $10 go there a month. That's better than nothing. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
I have nothing else to say except nations are your representatives, and so if you want something that's going to represent you and you feel that's going to be adequate, it only goes to the nation. That's it.
All right.
Reparations means repairing a nation, not repairing an individual, repairing a nation. And on that note, I'll holler at you good people later, and I'll see you in the lounge later tonight.
All right.
Peace.